It's June 27th, 2015, and this is your Fortean Slip news.
In our first story from Mike.com, that's MIC.com.
Oh, I thought it was from Mike.
Mike?
Yeah, you know, Mike.
M-I-K-E.
Hey there, Mike. What do you say there, Bill?
This one's about condoms, Chris.
Oh.
These teens just dreamed up condoms that change color to detect STIs. Imagine a condom with the ability to detect STIs, which is what? Sexually transmitted disease, I think.
Infections.
Simply by changing color. That's exactly
I had a shirt like that in high school, Steve, only you put your hand on it and it changed color. After you washed it like a couple of times, it was fucked.
I had, it wasn't a shirt. I had the Hot Wheels cars that did the same thing. It was pretty cool. I loved them. It didn't detect sexually transmitted disease.
But with this condom, you stick your dick in with the condom on, and then you pull it out, and you go, oh, I got a surprise.
Yeah.
I got the red one. And then you got to look on the list.
Yep. You have like a little cheat guide sitting next to the bed so you know what disease you're trying to prevent.
Wait a minute. It's between purple and blue.
Oh, God. I don't know what that means. Is it like the terror
I either
system?
have herpes or the clap. Which is it? One of them's going to go away.
The terror alert system, you know, orange, yellow. Anyway, these guys, they're 13 and 14-year-olds. They're inventors. And they
pull it out of her and you're like, the terror alert's orange today.
They named it S.T.EYE. STI. I think that's sexually transmitted I is what that stands for. The boys actually thought of it when they were researching to find an innovative idea that would make life simpler and better. Yeah, that makes life simpler. Hold on, let me pull my dick out and see what color it is. Yeah, the woman's really going to like that. The student's math teacher at Isaac Newton Academy in Illinois, or in Ilford, UK, it's in the UK somewhere, told Mike they came across an article on Reddit which said the top 10 things that should be invented, color-changing condoms. She added the STIs were then a spin on their belief, as they have been learning about that in their, health class lessons. And they felt it would be a great way to help detect STIs and also make people more aware of them. So the concept was born. The product, which is built-in detection that turns color based on the presence of certain bacteria strains, was conceived as both ways to detect a partner's STIs as well as one's own. So if you're going solo, Chris,
so you can put it on your cock and just be like, oh, it's turning purple today. You know, besides the fact that the thing's too tight at the bottom.
Yeah, I was going to say, if it's turning purple, you're doing it wrong. Or you're doing it right. One or the other. I'm not sure yet.
With these new color-changing condoms, Steve, how do you tell?
We wanted to make something that makes detecting harmful STIs safer than ever before, so that people can take immediate action in the privacy of their own homes without the invasive procedures at the doctors. Still in the works, it's important to note that it's a concept, and that's the operative word here. At the moment, it's still very much a research project. The students have done a lot of background science reading based around HIV testing, noting that many chemical reactions were carried out in the process. She added, obviously, if taken further, their scientific research would have to be tested and trialed. The condoms would be a dream product in the world of STI prevention if they came to fruition. That said, no product should fully replace that uncomfortable yet crucial pre-sex STI
Here, honey,
talk.
could you finger yourself with this condom before we start?
Yeah, how do you even go about doing that? I mean, yeah, I get the idea, but
That's just suck for the guy. Like, he's fucking hoping and hoping and hoping to get laid. And she's like, put on this condom. He slaps that bitch on and it turns green. And she's like, nope.
If you stick your dick in a woman and it turns green, then you've got some big issues. Anyway. Speaking about dicks, Bigfoot has a big problem. This one's from the HuffingtonPost.com.
Bigfoot has a big problem?
In bed.
Oh.
Yes, Bigfoot has a big problem in bed. We just might finally know why Bigfoot is always hiding. He's embarrassed. You figure an ape man with famously big feet would be well endowed in other areas. But Huffington Post sat down with primatologist and Bigfoot hunter Natalia Reagan on the Huffington Post Weird News podcast.
Is she really a Bigfoot hunter or just a really hot chick?
A little of both.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's a good thing I didn't get on that show. That's all I have to say. I wouldn't have found a damn thing. Of course, none of them did. But I would have been, looking at Natalia all the time.
There you go.
Anyway, she was on the Bigfoot bounty, by the way. Reagan, who was featured right here is where it says it, was featured on Spike's $10 million Bigfoot bounty, says Bigfoot might be big and scary.
I'm pretty sure
like
Caitlyn Jenner looks a lot like Natalia Reagan.
Oh, now you just ruined it for me, man. Now, I have no problem with Caitlyn Jenner, but I don't want to think about Caitlyn Jenner when I'm thinking about.
I think
Natalia
we need
Reagan.
a new Wheaties box.
Yeah, I seen one somebody made. It was funny as hell. It said when was he famous for, the Olympics and shit back in the 70s? So they had that date, and then they had 2015. It was just hilarious. Then and now kind of thing. Anyway, she says Bigfoot might be big and scary like a gorilla, but gorillas also have a small penis, less than 2.5 inches. If you want to know about Bigfoot, if you want to know about Bigfoot's wang, you should really understand the wangs of other primates that you think Bigfoot is like, said Reagan, who is also an anthropologist. If you think Bigfoot is a large-bodied primate like a gorilla or orangutan, and lots of squatchers think so, they also think that Bigfoot is a descendant of Gigantopithecus.
What the fuck is that whistling coming through, Steve? Are you fucking, you fucking old man Pete?
A little bit today. For those listeners who do not know, I had all my upper teeth removed, and this is the first podcast I'm doing with dentures in. And
this is the first. The
first. I don't quite sound like Sylvester, but
no, it's I fucking, you know what? I woke up late this morning. I wasn't paying attention, and then I was listening to you talk, and I heard it.
Hey, the show must go on, Chris.
Yeah.
The show must go on.
Bigfoot's got a small dick.
Lost. Gorillas and orangutans actually have quite small manhood. Pound for pound, humans have bigger penises than other primates. Some believe that's because humans walk on 2 legs, and at some point in the evolutionary adventure, genital size became an attractive quality in a mate. Gorillas, chimpanzees, and orangutans tend to walk on 4 legs, so they're not really advertising the size of their dicks. Plus, if Bigfoot does exist, Reagan says, it would have a small dick and a penis bone called the baculum. Humans do not have this literal boner, whereas a lot of primates have these bones in their dicks. I love this story. Of course, just because some people believe in Bigfoot, that doesn't mean he, she, it exists. We can only guess what this legendary beast is really like. However, evolutionary science might help us form some educated opinions.
Educated?
Educated, yes. As a scientist who tries to teach through entertainment, that's what Reagan is really
after. As a scientist, she tries to be hot on camera.
Mm-hmm.
And she succeeds quite often at being hot on camera.
I used to have a picture of Natalia Reagan on my computer at work. The screen, the background.
and then Marsha found out?
No, I told her.
Oh, well.
No, I told her.
Yeah.
She has actors and actresses and things like that she likes too. So
actors and actresses. Do tell, Steve.
Well, not actresses. It's yeah. It's also, not surprisingly, any discussion about human penis size can turn into testicles. What should be noted is that we have minuscule balls as well, Reagan said. Chimpanzees have a lot of male competition and need for sperm competition. They have huge cojones. Chimps have a fusion social structure.
They have a fusion reactor in their sack.
That's what it said. And there's a lot of promiscuity, and the males fight for access to the females. There's an idea of kamikaze sperm, where some sperm will actually outswim and fight other sperm to get to the eggs.
Obviously, these scientists have never been to a club on a Saturday night.
So Bigfoot has a small penis and probably large balls, according to that article.
Works for me.
Yep. In our final story from Top Secret
And he imagines to pop up on every fucking expedition.
Every one.
Every fucking expedition. There's Bigfoot.
If you're going out and hunting for ghosts, you always see a ghost. If you go out and hunt for Bigfoot, in the same exact location, you see a Bigfoot.
Yeah.
I haven't figured that one out yet.
It's amazing.
And sometimes ghosts and Bigfoot kind of merge and become this supernatural, awesome being that does weird stuff. It's good stuff. TopSecretWriters.com. This is one of my favorite UFO cases of all time, and I love it. It's from Socorro, New Mexico, and Lonnie Zamora. So the incident that took place in Socorro, New Mexico, I think that's how you pronounce it, I don't know, New Mexico, in the late afternoon of April 24th, 1964, is well known in the annals of UFO history. The eyewitness was a police officer named Lonnie Zamora, known to be a sober and conscientious police officer, not giving to flights of fancy. According to the UFO casebook, Zamora was in pursuit of a speeder when he noticed a loud roar and a jet of blue and orange flames rising into the air. Thinking that an explosion had taken place at a nearby dynamite shack, he broke off the pursuit and went to investigate. Instead of a burning shack, Zamora came upon an oval-shaped object with no doors or windows, with two beings who seemed like children dressed in overalls nearby. The two beings reacted with fright upon seeing him.
Boy, when I get home, I'm going to punch your mama in the mouth.
As Zamora was radioing a report to a local sheriff's office, the craft lifted off.
Give me a Diablo ham sandwich and a Dr. Pepper and make it snappy. I'm in a goddamn hurry. I got a UFO out here.
Craft lifted off on a tail of bluish flame and headed south east until it vanished from sight. The next person on the scene was New Mexico State Police Sergeant Sam Chavez, who had overheard Zamora's radio call. They were soon joined by other members of the Socorro Police Department, who conducted an investigation of the scene. Not only do I whistle when I talk with these dentures in, Chris, I'm not used to them yet, so my tongue hits them sometimes. And
son, you have a blatant disrespect for the law.
The sheriff's office received 3 other reports of blue flames in the area, but Zamora was the only clear eyewitness to what appeared to be a spacecraft from another world. 2 other people may have seen the object while in flight. There followed another investigation in conjunction with the FBI's, it wasn't the FBI, so this story is wrong. It's the Air Force's Project Blue Book. The first military investigator on the scene was Army Captain Richard T. Holder, uprange commander of White Sands Proving Ground.
Dick Holder?
FBI agent, Dick Holder, yes. Along, it's the theme of our show today, penises.
Sure.
Commander of White Sands Proving Grounds, along with an FBI agent, D. Arthur Burns Jr. from the Albuquerque office, Major William Connor from Kirtland Air Force Base, and Sergeant David Moody, who was in the area on temporary duty, investigated for Air Force Project Blue Book on April 26th. Dr. J. Allen Hynek arrived on the 28th. Hynek, or Hyman, maybe I should say, also part of the show today, also conducted a follow-up investigation on August 15th, 1964. An article in The Chieftain suggests a number of mundane explanations. An interview in the I am having a hard time.
You're always
in the intervening, in the intervening 51 years, to be exact, dozens of explanations have been offered, from a prototype lunar lander that got off course to a homemade hot air balloon. The one that I keep coming back to is that it was an elaborate prank perpetrated by New Mexico Tech engineering students. As a matter of fact, former Tech president Sterling Colgate is said to have claimed that he knew for a fact it was a hoax, and he knew who the tricksters were. Officer Zamora actually had to resign from the police department 2 years later, aggravated by the constant ribbing by his fellow officers for seeing a flying saucer. According to UFO Digest, Zamora was an Army veteran, kept silent about what he saw at the insistence of the military investigators. But it is clear that until his death in 2009, he believed that he really saw an alien spacecraft and that the government chose to cover up the matter.
I seen me in UFO, Steve.
It is one intriguing story if you ever get a chance to look it up. It is one, besides the Betty and Barney Hill and maybe the Rendlesham case in the UK, that is probably one on the top 10 of my list, even above Roswell. It's a good story.
Funny.
It's still unsolved. But that's the news, Chris.
Awesome.
Yes. What a wonderful dick-filled show today.
Ah.
Dick holder.